Hey guys, Al here, bringing you my Japanese build for land maps that I've been using on the ladder. Uh, this build still revolves around a lot of Onna-Bugeishas, but I have a unique twist to it that I haven't seen on any other player, and I'm gonna explain to you why I do it and how it's done. Here it goes. So, first off, you start with queuing up some workers. You will kill the sheep, send away the scout, and you will start off with building a house and a mining camp with one of the workers. Second worker that comes out will go straight to the mining camp. The scout will just take a short trip to find sheep. Once you have 2 on gold, you're gonna set TC to food again. And if you have the spare APM for it, you want to keep track of this worker, and once it reaches 10, you can set him to finish up the forge, and set the other one to start collecting gold, so you like mid-max a little bit. And right there, I don't know if you saw it, but there in the current patch, I think there is a small bug, because the Japanese civilization is supposed to receive 20% of the drop of stone or gold in the other resource. If you drop off 10 gold, you're supposed to get 2 stone. But that doesn't work if you drop off to a building that you are constructing. So like you saw, this guy, he carried 10 gold. Once he finished the forge, he dropped off only the gold and you didn't receive the stone. So that is quite important to remember, because it affects the numbers later on in the build. And as I said, I don't think it's intentional. I think it's a bug, but I'm not quite sure. Just be aware of it. Alright, so 2 on gold, rest, then you will rally up to 8 on food. Speed this up. There we go. Once we have 8 on food, you're gonna set TC to stone. Drop off some sheep. Now you're gonna rally 2 workers from the TC to stone, and once you have enough gold for each up, you're gonna cash in the gold and send the gold villagers over to stone, so you have a total of 4 on stone. TC is now set to the straggler trees, like 2 stragglers and then the wood line, something like that. Or if you have 3 stragglers close by, you can use the 3 stragglers as well. Here I was kind of looking for where to place the landmark, but you want to age up as soon as you can with 4 from the sheep. And just keep rallying to the wood until you have 6 on wood. Now, why are we gathering stone? Well, we're not going for a second TC. We are going for a daimyo before, once we hit feudal, we're gonna get the daimyo upgrade. What does that do? Well, it does improve the gather rate of farms, which is not the biggest point in the early game, because you're not having a lot of farms, but it's always good to have. It does provide you with a free villager, so even though the cost is 300, the actual cost is only 250, since you get 50 back in food, and the free villager is to compensate for the training time, so you don't lose out when you get daimyo. It adds health to the town center, an extra arrow slit, which is always good to have, but it does unlock the bannerman, and that is why we are doing it. That's the whole reason for it in this guide, or this build. So once you have 50 wood in the bank, and you're done scouting your side, you're now scouting the opponent's side, you can set rally points to the villagers building the landmark. So that is all settled. So you'll send one of the workers to build a house. You can queue up a house already on the berries. And you will be close to pop cap at this point, but don't worry, you will be fine. Even though there's a walk distance here, you will be fine. You will send two of the workers to gold, and one of them will just stay there and start working on the farm that eventually pops. Once you have 6 on wood, you're gonna set TC to sheep. I think I forgot once I made this guide, so I had to arrange it afterwards. But after you have 6 on wood, rally back to sheep. And once your stone, now this is where the bug I told you about earlier, because you're supposed to get 20, if the bug wasn't around, you're supposed to get 20 stone for mining 100 gold, right? But we did miss out on the first 2 stone because of the bug, and then for some reason it also I think I cashed in too soon with one of the workers, so it didn't have a full stack of 10, so it didn't quite go up to 18 stone. So when you check the stone mine for when to cash in the stone, so because you need the 300, just make sure it goes below 918, and somewhere around there you should be fine to cash it in. As you can see now, I mined 3 stone too much. So somewhere between 918 you can cash in the stone and send those workers over to gold. So the new setup will be 6 on gold, 6 on wood, and the rest will be rallied to food. There, landmark finishes, and as soon as you're possible, you're gonna take 2 of the workers on the stragglers and build a stable. And this is the whole point of the build and what makes it unique. Because you will go for a fast bannerman, and I think the Uma bannerman is quite an overlooked unit. It has great stats, and it has one specific role in this build. Carrying on, you will rally 10 villagers to food, and after that you will rally on wood until you have 10 on wood, and then you will rally back to food, and then you can just keep rallying to food from there on out. So, the bannerman, what is cool about it? It has 16 damage, but the aura actually boosts the unit itself. So it goes up to 18 damage and 24 charge. And it has health as if it were a Castle Age unit, which is awesome. It has the deflective armor, like the knights and samurais have. And it has great armor as well. So it's a really good unit. And this also synergizes very well with the upgrades, the +1, the unique Japanese upgrades. So the upgrades you want to get, that's why we keep 6 on gold now, because we want to get a lot of upgrades, and you will get them in this order. First you want to get Tatara, and normally I would suggest you to get economic upgrades first and then go into military upgrades, but this synergizes very well with the bannerman aura, because it stacks, so it provides more value than a normal +1 would give. I will show you later. But in this order you want to get the upgrades. You want to get Tatara first, then you want to get Towara, the level 1 upgrade. Then you want to get Takisaiku, the level 2 upgrade from the horse house. After that you want to get a double broadaxe to speed up the wood gathering. Then you wanna get the level 2 damage upgrade, the Hisikuri. After that you get the Iron Undermesh. And then you can get Specialized Pick, and lastly Fitted Leatherwork. So first you get the +1 attack, some echo upgrades, then all the military and mining as well. Alright, let's go. So here you want to check out to your opponent what he's up to, what resources you can harass. And the whole point of making this bannerman and also following up with horsemen is because you want to force the opponent to make spears, because they can't really react in any other way. Some unique civilizations have, like the Ayubids or Abbasid, have camels, or like a knight civ can go for their own knights to try deal with this. This unit, by the way, will beat any other feudal knights in one-on-one, but since you can only get one, they can beat you once they get more. But in general, opponents will have to go spears to deal with this unit, and that's one of the big points of having it. So once you have your 10 on wood, you wanna start getting your barracks going. Once the researches at least level 1 finishes, you can wait until level 2 finishes as well. You wanna transfer your sheep villagers over to berries, because sheep is the slowest gather rate for you right now. And there it goes. As soon as we have 150 wood, we're gonna get the first barracks. And yeah, this is what I want to show you about the +1, the Tatar upgrade. So you remember we had 16 damage and it buffed itself up to 2. Well, when you get the +1, you don't get an extra damage. You actually get 2 extra damage. You go from 18 to 20 damage on this unit, and the charge receives 1 extra. But the point is, you get two bonus damage for the price of 1. So that is really good. And same happens with the horseman. Once you get the +1 plus the aura from the bannerman, it has a base of 9, but the damage actually goes up to 12. So you also get from only 1 upgrade, when you are close to the bannerman, you get +3. So that is also really good. Now double broad axe finishes. Once you get your barracks up, you wanna focus on getting Onna-Bugeishas first, and whenever you're able to, you're gonna squeeze in a horseman, but focus on producing Onna-Bugeishas, because that is gonna be your main fighting unit. The horseman and the bannerman is mostly a bait for the opponent to go spears, because spears will absolutely get dented in by the Onna-Bugeishas. They are getting level 2, the Hisikuri. You just keep adding on barracks. It's easy set to sheep. And of course, as soon as a new farm pops up, you're gonna wanna transfer the workers from sheep over to farms. And now let's see what happens to the units once the Hisikuri upgrade comes in. Alright, so the bannerman goes up to 21 damage on the attack, so it only receives 1 extra attack, but it receives 2 extra charge damage. So you basically get +2 on your charge for the price of 1, and you get the +1 on the attack. And the horseman gets 13 damage, so now it only receives 1 extra right. So it stacks a little bit differently depending on the unit, but going from 9 to 13 for the price of +2 once you're close to the bannerman is really good. That's why I was talking about how the melee upgrades synergize well with this civilization. Right, I'm gonna speed this up. There we go. And there we go. So once you get around 5 barracks, I would say, you wanna transfer 4 of the workers from the wood line. So you had 10, you transfer 4, so you have 6 left on the wood line. You will transfer 4 villagers over to stone, because your next goal is to get the level 2 daimyo palace upgrade. And with that, you can either get more of these Uma bannermans, or you can start getting the katana bannerman to boost up your main army, the Onnas. It also buffs up your farms even more, and at the point when you get it, you will actually start having some farms to work with, because now the only wood you will be using is to build houses and to get more farms. There we go. Alright, so that is basically the build for you. Of course, you will need to adapt depending on the map, depending on the opponent. But this is like a general idea on how to play it, and I think it's a really good way to do it, since you're gonna force the spirit of the opponent to know when you're gonna stop making horsemen and the Uma bannermans. So they will need to keep spears in their army, and spears just get absolutely melted by these units. And if they don't have spears, well, their ranged unit is gonna be dented in by your horsemen and bannermen. Now, some adaptations to this build. If you're up against a Mongol player that can tower rush you, I would not suggest doing this. That is, I think, the only matchup where I don't do this, because they can just tower rush your gold or your stone and you will be kind of fucked. But any other players, you can do this. Now, if you're up against a knight civ, like French, Rus or Jeanne d'Arc, I would still go the Uma bannerman, because the bannerman can either beat the opponent's first knight, or if you're up against Jeanne d'Arc, for example, you can send it off to try and snipe her. Look for where she goes on the board or something like that, and try to snipe her, because the bannerman will absolutely dent her in one-on-one. But after that, I would probably pull off from the gold and put more workers on wood, and try to get barracks and some spearmen to defend first. And then, secure your base, get some walls, get some towers, spearmen to defend, and then just take the game from there. Yeah, alright. Now, this is the build, like the most optimal way to do it. Of course, when there's a real game, you will do mistakes, but so will also the opponent. So I'm gonna show you a real game now, and what happened there. Alright, so this game I'm up against the Sushi Legacy, which is, I think, this build works really well. I'm not gonna focus too much on the build. And as I said before, this game I'm not gonna do the build like perfectly executed. I'm just doing it to show you how it went and the strengths of it. So now we're just scouting, and as you can see here, I come in with my scout, and this is the moment I realize something really good for me. So as you can see, he has berries over here, he has deer, another berry pack, boar, his starting berries, all resources on this side of the map. The food resources. The only food he has access to on the other side is this deer pack, which is pretty far away. And this is a pretty damn good meditation gardens as well. It gets double stone, double berries and some wood, so that's a juicy meditation garden. But I know from this scouting that if I can only deny this area from him, then he won't be able to get food. And also staying close to this landmark with my military will decrease the income from it, so it's also a good reason for me to want to be around here. Since this build is a little bit unique as well, you will probably take a lot of, especially the lower down you go in ranks, you will be able to take opponents by surprise, because when they scout you and they see that you have Mind Stone, they might not know, they might think, even though it's not enough, they might think, okay, he's going for a second TC. They will probably not expect you going for the bannerman this early, because, well, nobody does it, right? So being able to take the opponent by surprise with this early knight will be... you might be able to throw them off guard, get a villager kill or something like that. Of course, you want to try not to lose this unit, it's really valuable for you. It does take less damage, so here I went a little bit greedy, thought I could get a worker. So I was able to neglect the first shot, but then I got 2 shots from the TC right after. So not too good. But now he is forced into making spearmen, so everything is going exactly to plan. He is forced to make a TC defensively on his own gold, but he can't really access food. Well, he has this, but I will be around and like poke on him over and over, so he will be a trouble getting the food. Alright, spearman comes in. I'm a little bit late with getting the barracks up. I should be having some Onnas out already. I'm going around, checking for if he's trying to go down here, look for food. I go in, I see the second town center. He ages up, and here's also a thing about the Japanese. If the opponent rushes castle, you don't really need to be that afraid, because what can the opponent actually get once they get to castle? Well, they can make man-at-arms, is the issue for most civilizations. Well, you have the Onna-Bugeishas, which in greater numbers will totally dent in men-at-arms. This civilization specifically can go for the Shaolin monks, but when you have the bannerman and all the horsemen, you can beat those guys as well. They can make crossbowmen, but just don't go samurai and you will be fine. The only armored unit you have is the bannerman. So it's not really worth it for him to go crossbows. And then he can go for his own knights, of course, but you already have 4 barracks or 5. You should be having 5, right? So you can just upgrade your spearmen and go with that. So you don't have to be afraid. You can stay in feudal for a very long time once the opponent reaches castle. Just try to use your unit effectively to deny resources, and you will be just fine. And the game from here on out it's basically over for him. He can't access this food. He's forced to go early farms. And the only thing he can do right now is to get like siege and try to keep the siege alive and keep me at bay with that. So I wrap around, see what I can find, get some kills. I burn some shit over here, and then once I see that he's not trying to get this food, I wrap around with my whole army to try and hit this eco. And then what I see this siege workshop, so I immediately target that one because I know that's like the thing the only thing he can use to come back. The nest of bees pops out, but it's too late. And the game just ends. So there it goes. I hope you like this kind of unique way to play the Japanese. It still revolves around the Onna-Bugeishas spam, but the unique twist with opening horseman and bannerman is really strong, I think. Feel free to test it out on the ladder, and hope you have a good time with it. Alright guys, thank you for watching, and see you in the next one. Bye.